to the crushing pressure of the abyss to meet the sovereigns to meet, to meet the sovereigns of the sea. Are these creators just acting on instinct, or, or are they conscious, self-aware self-aware beings? Prepare to challenge everything you thought you knew about the animal kingdom. One count, our count, our countdown begins at the water's edge with the world's most adaptable coastal learners. Our countdown of oceanic genius begins not in the abyss, but right at the water edge. Meet the pinniped, seals and sea lion, seals and sea lions. To the casual observer, they might seem like crazy sunbathers, but behind the big, dark eyes lies a brain capable of logic and learning that rivals the most advanced land mammal. Often described as the dog of the sea, sea lions actually outperform canids in many cognitive brain sea lions actually outperform canids in many cognitive benchmarks. They are extraordinary observational learners, capable of mastering complex tasks just by watching others. This is why they are the stars of naval programs worldwide. The U.S. Navy trains sea lions to locate underwater mines and recover lost equipment, tasks that require them to follow multi-step procedures and remember specific routines for years without any practice. Perhaps the most stunning proof of their intelligence came from a sea lion named Rio. In a landmark study, researchers proved that Rio understood logical equivalence. She was taught that if symbol A equals B and symbol B equals C, then symbol A must also equal C. This level of transitive inference, the ability to connect separate pieces of the ability to connect separate pieces of information to form a logical conclusion, is a high-level cognitive skill that even young human children can and many primates struggle to master. Rio achieved nearly 100% accuracy, proving her mind could handle abstract, symbolic concepts. Their intelligence is also a tool for survival. Pinnipeds possess an incredible spatial memory, navigating thousands of miles across the trackless ocean to return to the exact same breeding beach every year. They utilize a combination of magnetic field, celestial cues, and an acute sense of hearing. Within the colony, they navigate complex hierarchy, social hierarchies. Using a vast repertoire of vocalization to communicate territory, bonds, and status. The mental flexibility of these coastal residents makes them one of the most successful transitions between land and sea. But as we move away from the shore to the shallow mangrove, we encounter a tiny snipper that uses the laws of physics to hunt with absolute precision. Moving away from the coastal rocks and into the trunk roots of the mangrove, we meet a creator that proves intelligence doesn't always require a massive body. Meet the archerfish, Toxotes. While most fish hunt what is inside the water, This tiny snipper has mastered the art of attacking from below. It is the only animal on Earth that uses the law of physics and hydrodynamics to strike its prey with the precision of a professional marksman. The archerfish weapon is a high-pressure jet of water, fired from its mouth like a bullet. By pressing its tongue against a groove in the roof of its mouth, it creates a gun barrel. It then closes its gilled cover to force a burst of water out at a speed that can knock an insect right off a branch from 2 meters away. But the real genius isn't just the gun, it's the aim. When you look into water from above or out of water from below, light bends. This is a physics phenomenon called refraction. To the archerfish, the insect from the insect on the leaf appears to be in one spot, but in reality, it is somewhere else. Most animals would miss by a mark. Most animals would miss by a wide margin, but the archerfish brain performs complex trigonometric calculation in a split second. It accounts for the angle of the light and the gravity of the water droplet to strike the target exactly where it actually is, not where it looks like it is. This is a level of spatial reasoning that few land animals can match. Perhaps most impressive is how they acquire these skills. Archerfish aren't born experts. They have to learn. Research have shown that young archerfish learn to hunt by observation. They watch experienced otters, calculating the speed and trajectory of the shot, and then define their own technique. This type of social learning, the ability to gain a complex skill by watching a peer, is a hallmark of advanced intelligence, typically found in primates and dolphins. Yet, here it is in a fish no bigger than your hand. As we dive deep into the cap forest, we encounter a furry engineer that doesn't just calculate physics, it manufactures the tools it needs to survive. Descending into the golden cap forest of the North Pacific, we find a creator that combines undeniable charm with a sophisticated mechanical mind. This is the sea otter, an hydra lutris. While they might look like they are simply relaxing, these marine mammals are actually among the few allied members of the animal kingdom that have mastered the use of tools, a skill once thought to be exclusive human. The portable workshop. The sea otters is a specialized engineer because they lack the thick bubble of other marine mammals. They have a metabolism that runs like a furnace, requiring them to eat roughly 25% of their body weight every single day. Their favorite meals, urchins, clams, and abalones, are protected by formidable armor. To bypass this, the otter doesn't rely on brute strength, it relies on physics. An otter will dive into the seafloor, carefully selecting a flat anvil stone. Back at the surface, it places the stone on its chest and hammers the shellfish against it until the shell shatters. But the intelligence goes deeper than just picking up a random rock. Research shows that otters are highly selective, choosing specific stones for specific type of prey. More impressively, they are known to keep a favorite They are known to keep a favorite rock for long periods, tucking it into a specialized flap of loose skin under their armpit, as, as essentially a biological tool belt. An evolutional, an evolu, an evolutionary, an evolution, an evolutionary, an evolution, an evolution, an evolution, an evolutionary legacy, an evolutionary legacy. This isn't just a learned trick, it is an ancestral legacy. Genomic studies suggest that sea otters have been using tools for millions of years, like, likely longer than even our own ancestors. This long-term reliance, this long-term reliance on tools has shaped their social structures. Mother otters spend months Mother otters spend months teaching their pups to precise techniques grip and strike techniques required for different prey. This is cultural transmission, the passing of non-genetic information from one generation to the next, which is a hallmark of advanced civilization. Calculated destruction. Watching an otter's work is like watching a craftsman at a bench. They use their sensitive paw to feel for cracks in the shells and adjust their striking force to ensure they get the meat without wasting energy. In areas where they are in areas where they encounter human discarded glass or metal, they have they have even been seen adapting their techniques to use these new materials as tools. As we leave these furry engineers of the calf forest, we head into the open we head into the open blue to meet a predator that doesn't use to hunt, but instead use the most powerful computer in the ocean, a brain designed for high stake military strategy. For decades, Hollywood and pop culture have painted our next candidate as a mindless killing machine, a biological vacuum cleaner with teeth. But science is finally catching up to the truth. The great shark, the great, the great white shark, Cachalcodon carcharias, isn't just a brute, it is a cold, calculating strategist with a brain-to-body ratio that rivals many highly social birds and mammals. In the world of oceanic predators, this is the chess player of the deep. Intelligence in the great white is defined by its ability to learn and adapt. Their most famous hunting maneuver, the Polaris Bridge, is a masterclass in physics and timing. To launch a 2-ton body completely out of the water, a shark must calculate the exact speed, angle, and distance of its prey to deep below, accounting for the way light bends through the surface. Research at South Africa's Seal Island has shown that sharks don't just attack randomly. They learn the pattern of their prey over seasons, identifying the high traffic lanes of seals and positioning themselves in blind spots where they are invisible to the animal above. This is anti this is antipace this is anticipatory behavior, a hallmark of advanced cognitive function. Perhaps most surprising is their social intelligence. Great whites are not the solitary wolf we once thought. When multiple sharks con- when multiple sharks congregate when multiple sharks congregate when multiple sharks congregate when multiple sharks congregate around a large food source, like a whale carcass, They don't descend into a mindless feeding frenzy. Instead, they follow a strict social hierarchy based on size and seniority. And seniority. They communicate. They communicate through several sp- They communicate through several body language, arched bark, arched backs, head shakes, and tail slapping to resolve disputes without even having to fight. They understand that a physical conflict is a waste of energy and a risk to their health, choosing diplomacy over violence. Spies, spy hopping and curiosity. Great whites are also one of the few sharks that exhibit spy hopping. They lift their head out of the water to observe things happening on the surface. This show, this show a rare amphibious perspective. They are curious about the world beyond their own, beyond their own. They have been observed investigating human boats and equipment with a careful, analytical, analytical approach, often testing an object with a gentle bite to determine its calorie content before deciding whether it was the whether it was the effort. As we leave this massive, strategic mind of the shark, we head into the dark, redly depth to meet to meet a group to meet a group of predators that don't just hunt with strategy, but with a complex, flashing language that we are only just beginning to decode. Descending into the deep, dark water of the Eastern Pacific, we enter a realm of a predator so aggressive and so mysterious that Mexican fisherman named them Diablos Rojos, the Red Devil. This is the hum this is the Humboldt squid, Disodicus gigas. Why they are so famous for their 6 foot long bodies and razor sharp beaks. Their their true power lies are their true power lies in a sophisticated, flashing language that suggests a level of social intelligence we are only beginning to decode. Intelligence in a squid is written Intelligence in a squid is written across its skin. Humboldt squid are covered in millions of specialized pigment cells called chromatophores. While many, ce- while many cephalopods are while many cephalopods are while many cephalopods use their while many cephalopods use this for camouflage, the Humboldt the Humboldt the Humboldt squid the Humboldt squid use the Humboldt squid use them as a high-speed communication network. They can shift their entire body color from a ghosty white to a deep blood red in a fraction of a second. Researchers have discovered that these flashes aren't random. They appear to be a complex syntax stu- stu- of stuttering and flickering patterns. By, back, by backlighting their bodies with bioluminescence, by, by backlighting their body with bioluminescence, by, back, by backlighting their bodies with bioluminescence, they communicate intent, territory, and warning to one another. In the pitch black of the deep ocean, they are essentially taking through a biological fiber optic system. What truly sets the Humboldt apart from other mollusks is their collective intelligence. They are not solitary hunters. They travel in shoals of up to 1,200 individuals. During a hunt, they don't just attack in a frenzy. They exhibit highly organized, synchronized behavior. They have been observed herding fish toward they have been observed herd, they have been observed herding fish toward one another and most impressively They use their flashing skin to coordinate movement, ensuring they never collide with one another while darting at high speed. Underneath that flashing skin is a massive, complex nervous system. In laboratory settings, Humboldt squids have shown the ability to learn through observation and solve puzzles to reach food. They exhibit a global awareness of their environment. They exhibit a global awareness of their environment that is rare for invertebrates. They aren't just reacting to stimuli. They are processing data and making tactical decisions in real time. As we leave this flashy, aggressive genius of the red devil, we move toward a master of disguise, a creator that doesn't just talk with its skin, but uses it to manipulate the very perception of its enemies. If the ocean held a masquerable, if the ocean held a If the ocean held a masquerable bull, the cuttlefish, Cepeda, would be its undisputed guest of honor. Would be its undisputed guest of honor, often called the cam, often called the camelus of the sea. Those These mollusks possess a cognitive depth that far exceeds their short lifespan. While their camouflage is legendary, it is the sophisticated brain behind the skills that earns them a spot in our top 5. This is a creator that doesn't just hide, it manipulates the very physics of light and the psy- and the psycho- and the phys- and the pathology and the psychology of its observers. To understand a cuttlefish mind, you have to look at its skin. It is controlled by a massive nervous system that manages millions of specialized cells. Chromatophores Chromatophore provides color. Iridophore creates shimmering metallic effects, and leucophores acts as a white reflectors. But the real magic lies in the pillae. But the real magic lies in the pipillae, tiny muscles that can change the physical texture of their skin from smooth to dark in seconds. A cuttlefish isn't just painting a picture of the background. Its brain is 3D modeling its environment and replicating it in real time. For a long time, scientists believed that self-control, the ability to resist immediate temptation for a better reward later, was a trait exclusive to humans and large-brained mammal-like teams. However, a landmark study recently proved that cuttlefish can pass the marshmallows test. When offered a piece of raw king prawn, a decent meal immediately, or a live grass shrimp, their favorite meal, if they waited, the cuttlefish choose to wait. This demonstrates exclusive. This demonstrates excuse. This demonstrates executive. This demonstrates executive. This demonstrates executive function and the ability to plan for the future, a high-level cognitive trait that suggests a complex internal life. Their intelligence also shines in the art of deception. In the world of cuttlefish, in the world of cuttlefish, in the world of cuttlefish mating, large, aggressive males usually reward females. Smaller sneakers males have evolved a brilliant workaround. They can change their skin color and tuck in their tentacle to look exactly like a female. They then swim right past the They then swim right past the oblivious ward, mate with the female, and slip away before the alpha even realized what happened. This required this, this required theory of mind, the ability to understand and exploit what another individual is thinking. As we leave this solitary mentalist, we move toward a creator that takes this individual genius and adds a terrifying layer of curiosity. The legend of the, the, the legendary alien of the deep. If we ever encounter life from another planet, it might look remarkably like our number 4. The octopus is the ultimate solitary genius of the ocean. While most intelligent species, including humans, evolved to be smart through social interaction, the octopus did it alone. This is an intelligence so foreign that it doesn't even live entirely in its past. It is a decentralized masterpiece of biological engineering. The nine-brained alien. To understand an octopus, you have to understand its nervous system. While it has a central brain, two-thirds of its neurons are actually located in its arm. This means that each arm can think, taste, and touch for itself without waiting for instruction from the headquarters. Imagine trying to write a letter with your right hand while your left hand prepares a sandwich and your feet ties your shoelace. All without your consciously thinking about it. This is the daily reality for an octopus. The master of tool. In 2009, scientists were stunned to witness a veined octopus in Indonesia engaged in what is known as stipulate tool use. The octopus found to have of a discarded coconut shell, cleaned, cleaned them, and carried them for kilometers across the barren seafloor. When it felt threatened, it would jump inside, pull the half together, and disappear into a portable fortress. This wasn't just using an object; it was planning for a future threat. It was planning for a future threat, a cognitive leap previously thought impossible for an invertebrate. Anyone who has worked in an aquarium will tell you, octopus are nightmare roommates. They can figure out how to unscrew jaws from the inside, navigate complex marsh, and remember the face of individual humans, holding grudges against those they dislike and spraying water at them. There are legendary stories of octopus, like Inky from the National Aquarium of New Zealand, who waited for the light to go out, squeezed through a tiny gap in his tank, slid across the floor and escaped through a drain pipe leading back to the ocean. Curiosity and play. Intelligence isn't just about solving puzzles. It's about curiosity. Octopuses are one of the few invertebrates known to play. They have been observed beating around 14 bottles or toys poorly for entertainment. This suggests an internal life, a mind that gets bored and seeks stimulation. As we leave the solitary, liquid genius of the reef, we move toward a species that takes that intelligence and weaponizes it through the power of friendship and complex social network. If the octopus is the ocean's solitary alien, our number three is its charismatic politician. The bottlenose dolphin, Cuttlefish, possess a level of social intelligence so high it mirrors our own. With a brain-to-body ratio second only to human, these mammals have moved beyond simple instinct. They live in a world of complex aliens, regions, culture, and individual identities. In the human world, we use names. In the dolphin world, they use signature whistles. Research has confirmed that each dolphin develop a unit. Research has confirmed that each dolphin develop a unique whistle in its use that serves as its name. They don't just use this whistle. They don't just use this whistle. They don't. They don't just use this whistle to identify themselves. They use them to address one another. A dolphin will mimic a friend's whistle to call out to them across the blue. This is one of the only known instances in nature where animals use labels for individuals, suggesting a level of self-awareness and social memory that spans decades. We have seen tools in art. We have seen tools used. We have seen tools. We have seen tools used in otters. We have seen tools used in otters, but dolphins take it a step further through cultural transmission. In Shark Bay, Australia, a specific group of dolphins has learned to feed marine sponges over their snout. This sponging protects their sensitive nose as they poke around the sharp rock and coral for fish. What makes this intelligence is just what makes this intelligence isn't just the tool, it's the education. Mother teach this mother teach mother teach this mothers teach these specific skills to their daughters, creating a sponging subculture within the larger pod. It is a specialized trait passed down through generations. One of the gold standards of intelligence is the mirror test. Most animals see a reflection and think it's a stranger's or a rival. Dolphins, however, pass and flying colors. They use mirrors to inspect parts of their bodies they can normally see, like a mark placed on their belly by a researcher. They recognize self. This indicates a self. This indicates a level of consciousness and eternal identity that is extremely rare in the animal kingdom. Dolphins are, dolphins are master tacticians. In the shallow water of Florida, they use mud ring feeding. One dolphin swims in a circle, flapping its tail to create a mushroom-shaped wall of mud that trap feeds. As the panic fish leap over the wall, to escape, the rest of the pod is waiting at the surface with open mouths. This requires perfect timing, communication, and shared understanding of the plan. As we leave this brilliant society, as we leave these brilliant societies, we move toward a predator that takes this social intelligence and scale it up to a global level, a creator that doesn't just have a pot, but an entire civilization. If the ocean had a superior intelligence, it would likely wear black and white. Meet the orca, Alcinous orca, while often called the killer whale. They are actually the largest member They are actually the largest members of the dolphin family, but they are far more than just predators. They are arguably the most successful cultural being on Earth. In the animal kingdom, orcas don't just act on instinct, they act on tradition. To understand an orca mind, we must look at their brain. It is the second heaviest in the ocean, and it is incredibly wrinkled. This high degree of rarification This high degree of rarification means their brain has a massive surface area for processing information. Most significantly, they, pos- they possess an extra lobe in their paralimbic. They possess an extra lobe in their paralimbic system, the area responsible for processing emotion and social bonds that humans don't even have. This suggests this suggests an emo- this suggests an emo- this suggests an emotional life so deep it may be beyond our comprehension. Intelligence in the orcas is best seen through their culture. Orcas are divided into ecotypes, distinct, distinct groups that never interbreed and have completely different diet, behaviors, language. A pod from the Pacific Northwest cannot speak to a pod from Antarctica. They use unique, they use unique dialect of click and whistle that are passed down from matriarch to calf over hundreds of years. This isn't just communication, it is a cultural heritage. The hunting tactics are nothing short of military grade. In Antarctica, Oscar have been filmed performing whale watching. Have been filmed. Orca have been filmed performing whale watching. The pod swim in perfect unison toward a seal on an ice floe, creating a creating a synchronized way that knocks the prey into the water. In Patagonia, they use intentional they use intentional standing, lunging onto the beach to grab sea lion pups, a high risk manu- a high risk maneuver a high risk maneuver a high risk maneuver that mothers spend years teaching to their young through practice runs. That mothers spend years teaching the that mothers spend years teaching to their young through practice runs. They calculate risk, time the tides, and coordinate their movement with the precision of a Swiss watch. Orcas live in a strictly matriarchal Orca lives in a strictly matriarchal society. The oldest female leads the pod, and she is the library of the family. And she is the library of the family. She holds the collective memory of where to find food during drought and how to navigate through dangerous water. In fact, orcas are the orcas are one of the few species on Earth, alongside humans, where females live long past their productive years. This grandmother effect ensures that their wisdom is preserved and passed down, allowing the pod to thrive in a changing world. We have reached the pinnacle. We have reached the pinnacle of oceanic mind. To find our number one, we must look to a giant that lives in a world of sound and shadow. This is the this is the sperm whale, Physeter macrocephalus. Physeter macrocephalus. While the blue whale is larger in body, the sperm whale is the undisputed heavyweight of the brain. They possess the largest brain to ever exist in the history of life on Earth, an 8-kilogram masterpiece of evolution that is 5 times the size of our own. Intelligence for a sperm whale is built on sound. They possess a massive organ called the spermate, called the spermaceti, which allows them to produce the loudest sound in the animal kingdom. These clicks are so powerful they can paralyze prey, but their primary use in echolocation. A sperm whale can see through miles of pitch black water, detecting detecting the texture and density of a giant squid in total darkness. Their brain possesses out their brain possesses acoustic data with a resolution that makes our best military sonar look like a toy. But what but what truly elevates the sperm whale to the top spot is their social syntax. They communicate using they communicate they communicate using rhythmic pattern of clicks called codas. Research has shown that these aren't just simple signals, they are complex identifiers. Individual codas act like personal signatures. Clan codas function like a function like a regional dialect or a national anthem. Sperm whales live in massive, multi-genera- multi-gener- multi-generational pla- multi-generational clans that span entire ocean basin. A whale from a five-click clan in the Pacific will only socialize with others who share the same rhythmic culture. This is a global network of information where knowledge about migration routes and hunting grounds are shared across thousands of miles. Perhaps the most eerie Perhaps the most eerie evidence of their complex consciousness is how they sleep. They have been observed drifting vertically in the water, perfectly still, perfectly still, perfectly still, like massive monoliths. During this time, their brain acts. Their brain activity suggests they may be dreaming. What does a creator with an what does a creator with an 18-pound brain dream about? With a memory that spans 70 years and a social network that covers the globe, the sperm whale live in a cognitive the sperm whale live in a cognitive reality we are only just beginning to image. We are just beginning to imagine. As we leave this ancient thinker of the abyss, we realize that the ocean isn't just a plague of survival, it is a plague of profound, silent wisdom. Over the last hour, we have journeyed through a world where intelligence has no limits. We have seen that genius doesn't require hands to build or a voice to speak in words. It exists in the splashing skin of a squid, the strategic wave of an orca, and the fortified metal colony of a cephalopods. The ocean is the ocean is the greatest laboratory of mind on earth. These 10 creators remind us that we are not the only one who think, feel, and plan for the future. They are the silent sovereigns. They are the silent sovereigns of the deep, maintaining a delicate balance in a world we are only beginning to understand. As we move forward, the question isn't whether they are intelligent, it's whether we are intelligent enough to protect them. Thank you for joining us on this expedition into the mind of the deep. If this story changed the way you look at the ocean, hit that but hit that like button and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to stay curious. To stay curious. To stay curious. The deep is full of secrets and we are just getting started.